tutorial will show you how to add the dimension lines to your classroom floor plan once you have completed the walls, doors, windows, and all the furniture. You should create this following the dimensions that you measured earlier in the year for the classroom floor plan that you drew by hand. Essentially, when you're done and you print this out, it should look exactly or be exactly the same size and shape as the one that you drew by hand. So again, once you've completed this tutorial, you can follow this tutorial, and this will show you how to add your dimension lines. So here I have my classroom floor plan opened, which was just saved on my P drive, and it has my walls, windows, and doors and furniture like I mentioned before. What I'm going to want to do now is transfer this to what's called an AutoCAD template. An AutoCAD template is nothing more than a predetermined file that has various settings and whatnot saved into it, so that I don't have to change those settings over and over again. I save the file as a template file. You can also create template files using Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and other programs as well. So to transfer this from this file to a template file, first I'm going to hit Control A to select everything on my keyboard, and then Control C to copy. Again, Control A is Control All, selects everything, Control C to copy. From there, I need to open the template file. So to do that, I'm going to just click on the Open button on the top left corner of my AutoCAD window, and then I need to browse to where the template file is located. In order for the open window to find the template file, you have to change the file type that you're looking for. Right now we're looking for DWG files. DWG is a standard drawing file that we've been using all along. So to change it to a template file, we simply hit the down button here, change it to DWT, or drawing template file. Once that's selected, it's going to go to the default location for all the template files, which is stored with the program somewhere on your C drive of your computer. However, the template file that we're going to be using is stored on the shared drive. So after you change the file type to DWT, make sure you do this first. Then you can go to the shared drive, which you can get to a number of different ways. I'm going to browse to it here. So you're going to go to the high school folder, my name, Tornegard before, and we're going to go to the AutoCAD files folder. In the AutoCAD files folder, the last file in here is called Classroom Floor Plan Dimensions. That's the template file we want to open. We click on that, we should see a little preview here, hit open, and now we should have the dimension template, the floor plan template open for us and ready to use. If you notice here, it's preset with a border and has a title block on the bottom right hand corner here. Now I want to paste my floor plan into this file. So to do that, I can hit Control V, and then it asks you to pick a point where you want to insert it. So I want to get it approximately centered in the plan. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can just eye it up like I'm doing here, and I pasted my floor plan down. Now from here, I want to go ahead and edit a few things. First off, similar to how we use different pencil types to get different line widths when we drew this by hand, we're going to use different line thicknesses in AutoCAD to get essentially different line weights. So in order to show those, the first thing you need to do is make sure that your LWT button or line weight button is turned on. By the way, if your buttons don't have the words on them, again, you can right click and uncheck use icons, and then you'll have these buttons instead versus it looking like this. So if it looks like this, right click on any button, uncheck use icons, and you should have these tabs down here. Now I can click on line weight, and notice when I clicked on the LWT button, which stands for line weight, the border showed up as a darker line. If you remember to our hand drawings, the darkest line should be the border, which was done with an H pencil. So this is the thickest line. Now, I forgot to change this to AutoCAD Classic, so I'm going to do that now. It should have been done already, but now I want to make sure that my floor plan objects, which in this case are my walls, windows, and doors and furniture, are the correct thickness. So the way I can do that is I want to select these objects only, and then I want to put them on the proper layer. This template already has some layers set up for you, so if I highlight the objects I want to move, click on the layer that they should be on, which in this case is floor plan objects, okay, notice now that they got a little bit thicker. Escape cancels my command, my selection. So now my border's the thickest line, and my walls and windows and doors are slightly thinner. The last lines that I need to add are the dimension lines for the project. So to do that, I want to make sure I activate the dimension layer by clicking the drop-down menu, clicking on dimension. You can tell it's active by it showing up here. And now I'm going to go to the dimension menu here and click on linear, and we can start dimensioning. However, before I do that, I want to add a couple temporary lines, which I'll show you why they're there in a minute. You should draw a line across each one of your door openings like this, and make sure that your midpoint snap is turned on by right-clicking on O-snap and making sure midpoint's turned on. You want to do that for all your doors. I just did it one for time purposes. So now I can go back here, click on dimension linear, and now it says specify where you want to dimension from. So just like you did before, you dimension to the outside edge of outside walls, and now you want to dimension to the center of the door. So this line will come in handy because I can snap to the midpoint, click, and drag it out. And there's my dimension, 9 foot 5 1/4 inches. Now I need to dimension to the opposite end here. So the way I can do that is click on dimension, continue now, and continue will pick up where I left off last. So now I can add as many dimensions as I need. I can keep adding dimensions as many as I want until I get to the end here. Now I added an extra one here, so I'm going to go back and undo this. And I did that just to show you that you can keep on clicking, but if I click on dimension continue, well, it's not going to do it now because I restart the whole thing. If I delete this dimension and start over, if I go dimension linear here, go from this point to the midpoint, drag it up. Now if I go dimension continue, now it'll pick up where I left off, and I can add as many dimensions as I need. However, there's nothing here to dimension, so I'm just going to go to the end here. Click, and escape cancels. Notice it leaves a gap here of about 1/8 of an inch already, and my lines are thinner because they're on the dimension layer. I've already preset these thicknesses for you in this template. That's one of the nice things about using these templates. So now I want to add one more dimension line above this for the entire length. However, if you notice, I'm pretty close to the border, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and move all of my objects down a little bit inside my border so I have more space for that last dimension line. Now if I go dimension linear again, click starting point, be careful that you click the wall and not this point so it leaves a gap for you. Click, click, and then drag it out. To where I want it to go. And now I have the two dimension lines stacked. Now I can go back and delete this line that I drew here inside the door. Make sure you select the line, not the dimension. And now I have a properly dimensioned wall. You can repeat the same process for this wall here, at the bottom here for the windows. Again, a reminder, you can dimension to the center of all the windows, or preferably one through the whole window unit, and then so on. And again, since I have the whole length dimensioned here, I don't need it down here. Simply the distance from here to the window, window to door, door to corner of the wall would be fine. And this is an extra line here, so I'm going to delete that. And then that'll be pretty much your final floor plan. Last thing you could do is update your title block with your name and information, just simply by double-clicking the fields here. You can edit it. Again, the text is already set for you, so you don't need to change anything. And there is my title block. So you can fill out the rest as usual. The scale is already set to quarter scale, and now you're ready to print this thing. So first thing you're going to want to do is save it so you have a copy of it. You have to make sure you go File, Save As, so you don't try and replace it on the P drive. I'm going to save this to my desktop for time's sake. And now I want to save it as a DWG file, not as a DWT file. So I'm going to change the file type to DWG. Now I can save it as ClassroomFloorplanDimTutorial. Save it. Now I have a copy on my desktop, and from here you're ready to submit it. To print this out, simply all you need to do is go File, Plot. If the printer's installed, which this one wasn't, which should already be set up on your computer, the printer we're going to use is a color laser, and all the settings should be preset for you. 11 by 17, quarter-inch center plot, and always do a preview before you print. This error comes up, just hit continue, and if you were to print this, this would already be preset for you, quarter scale, set up with the border and everything. You shouldn't have to change any of the settings except perhaps select the correct printer. Then if you hit print up here, this will print out and it'll be printed on 11 by 17 paper, quarter scale, and you're ready to submit it. When you're ready to print it, please let me know so I can help you load the paper properly into the 11 by 17.